Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events most of all. Thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I do deliver it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get to our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender, Brent Humpherys, is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning. It's nice to get through the frost and make it to the studio.
Yeah, glad to have you with us. I'm glad you made it here. It is a little cold. Whoops, got a little background there. We may actually get a little snow even here tomorrow, Brent. We'll see what happens. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are celebrating today. We celebrate every day. Hopefully we've got the wonderful Christy listening to us. It's National Cherry Pie Day or National Love Your Pet Day. Which one is it, Christy? One or two? It's on the other side of the, National Love Your Pet Day. Okay, that one there is for Christy today, National Love Your Pet Day. Little applause from the audience they got going on there. Checking out the markets for you today. Dow Jones Industrial Average. I guess that's a bit of a yawner today. We are down 1 point. Not a big deal right there. Oil up $1 a barrel. Looking at the bond market, which we do all the time for you, 10-year Treasury up about one tick. It's at 2.65 is the yield right there. So again, not a whole heck of a lot of excitement in those markets, but we'll talk about the why of the bond market when we get to the Mortgage Minute a little later on in the broadcast. Checking out the daily briefing. Maybe you can help me out. I'm a little bit confused here, because I did notice that Bernie Sanders now got into the presidential race.
I got a bad feeling about this.
So here's the thing that kind of I question here. He raised $4 million when right after announcing within the first 12 hours. $6 million, I think, was the total number for the day. One of the big items that's on Bernie's platform is that he wants to have a $15 an hour minimum wage. Okay, I get it. That's, just to kill the economy. I understand that's his intent there. But his fellow socialist, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just celebrated the fact that she was able to get Amazon not to come to her community, her constituents, for $150,000 a year jobs. Now, I'm just a simple guy here. Now, Bernie, let's do some math here. And I'm going to use simple numbers because there's 2,080 hours if you work 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. So I'm just going to round that off to 2,000 hours if you don't mind. And Bernie wants everyone to make $15 an hour. That's about $30,000 a year. Yet his compadre there, she just said she doesn't want 25,000 jobs that are $150,000 a year. If my math is right, that's 5 times the amount that Bernie wants. Am I missing something here? Can you help me, somebody? I just don't get it. Maybe we'll figure that out. The idea of socialists, it's just amazing. Let's check out what else is happening in the daily briefing today. Are they trying to get John Wayne now on the Pound Me Too movement? I'm just curious about that. I know that Kamala Harris, she's on the Pound Heels Up movement. I don't get that one either, but we know how she started. But I guess there's a new thing out there. They're looking back all the way to John Wayne. Amazing. Jussie Smollett still in the news. Apparently, this is not his first time at lying to the police. 2007, he was convicted of that here in Los Angeles. Interesting story there. The U.S. debt hit $22 trillion. Ow! Yeah, not good news. I'd love to see when we're going to start working on that debt. Now, I know that the Democrats are going to say, well, that's because you cut taxes. No, we're at an all-time high in revenue on the federal income tax. All-time high, $1.7 trillion collected federal income tax. You can't say that it's from the tax cut, that's what hurt things. Just throwing that out there. And look at this one. This is another interesting case. Now, fascinating when we have all the presidential candidates, Democrat presidential candidates, came out and they were lined up behind Jussie Smollett on his apparently false accusation in Illinois. But did they do the same thing for the young man that was from the Catholic school with the American Indian? Well, they didn't say that. Now, he was the villain in that case. Why would he be the villain when he comes out? And Smollett is the hero. Well, maybe Nicholas Sandman, 16, he's out there. He's just filed a $250 million lawsuit against Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, and the Washington Post. Bezos owns the Washington Post. We'll see where that one goes. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but that is just my opinion. Just throw that out there. You're not going to see this in the news either. $12 million worth of meth seized in Texas just recently. So you won't see that one there. Vandals. Now here's another one. I just love seeing some of these news items. Did you see the sailor that just passed away at age 95? He was from the World War II sailor kissing a nurse in Times Square. Did you see that one? Yeah, well, vandals spray painted the statue with the Pound Me Too sign. Can't believe that stuff. I don't get it. Next, President Obama. Apparently there's a news story here. A judge gave a go-ahead to a lawsuit aimed at stopping President Obama's Chicago Presidential Library. Pretty fascinating. Apparently maybe it's where they want it. Doesn't every president get a library? I mean, it seems like they all seem to do it. I don't know why there's a lawsuit against this one, and it's not even in California. I mean, California likes to sue everybody over everything. Right? I mean, fascinating here, though. Is it a coincidence that the same day that our lunatic governor and attorney general come out and file a lawsuit against the federal government for the wall that does seem to be protecting people in certain areas like Tijuana and San Diego? Think about that. But they're filing a lawsuit there. Now, I had dinner with a friend of mine last night, and we were chatting, and he's a business owner and successful, man. I said, what happens if somebody pokes you in the eye? He says, you poke back. What happens if they continually do it? You poke harder. Well, I guess that might be the issue here, because President Trump came back and said, well, we're going to withhold $900 million for the governor's choo-choo. Now, the choo-choo's going from Bakersfield to Merced. How many people are planning to go to Bakersfield this year?
You know better than that.
And I bet there's less people that are planning their family vacation to Merced. But, you got the choo-choo. It's not even get to full speed by then. So the president says, we're not going to pay you that $900 million. You aren't performing your side of the grant. And, oh, by the way, give us that $2.5 billion back that you haven't taken care of your side on that either. Just throwing that out there for you. Unbelievable what's going on. Hey, we've got you might be wondering, if you're watching us, ronsiegelradio.tv or Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook, you might be wondering, because our friend Brent Humpherys is in the house, and you may have noticed, now he's doing a lot better than I am. He's on this weight plan. I'm on a weight plan too. I wait for the next meal. He does a lot of different waiting, but I didn't throw these cookies out here in front of him just to antagonize him. It's Girl Scout cookie time. And Brent is an exceptional real estate professional. And Brent, I'm going to throw this out there because as a real estate professional, you understand double-ending a deal, right?
Mm-hmm, I do.
Okay, so our Girl Scout cookie promo, we double-end this one here. And I know that you're good on puns, but here it is. We buy Girl Scout cookies. Anybody that wants to participate with us, just send us money. Ron Siegel on Venmo, Ron Siegel on PayPal, any of those other Square Cash Card, Ron Siegel. Send in whatever you want. You can even go with the Bernie thing, $17. I don't care what it is. We take all of that money and buy Girl Scout cookies.
Okay.
That's one end, right?
Yes.
The idea here is because I am not on the diet that you are, but some people are on a diet, we have asked the Girl Scouts to then take the cookies over to a local nonprofit organization. Right? So now they're no-calorie Girl Scout cookies. At least no calorie to me because I'm buying them and giving them to somebody else.
I am 16 inches from the Caramel Delights, and I'm glad that box is sealed because if I smelled them, I would just tear into them.
Really?
Yeah, they're amazing.
I love that one. There was a different name for them. I guess they had to
Sequoia.
go... Sequoia. There you go. Okay, so... But that's part of our... That's why the Girl Scout cookies are on the table right in front of Brent. I'm not trying to tempt him in any way. But hey, you know something? If you want to help us out, we are looking to... Our goal this year, 500 boxes of cookies. I know it's a lofty goal, but I always set lofty goals. So if you want to help us out, whatever amount you want, it all goes right to the Girl Scouts, 100%. We cover the PayPal fees. We cover any other fees, but the Girl Scouts get every nickel that you send over. That is the double-ending Girl Scout cookies for this year. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Brent Humpherys has some helpful tips to sell your home this spring. I think we got our headline maybe off a little bit.
I was going to mention that.
So it's not to prevent you from selling your home. It's something, well, we'll figure that out. I will get it corrected. Also, we're going to talk why a normal real estate market is just what we need, understanding what to do with unfiled tax returns, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs for you. All you've got to do is give us a call now. You get the Fast Pass loan approval. When you have the Fast Pass loan approval, well, guess what? You can save possibly $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. There are no loan contingencies with a Fast Pass loan approval. Let's take a look at what the markets are doing right now. I am looking at the markets. I watch them for you like a hawk all day long. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 3.26 right now. S&P 500 up 4.61. I've been watching that one all day. There is some, we've got a lot of support right there, but we don't want to. I don't think it's going to go above 2,800. So might watch that a little bit. The 10-year Treasury fairly flat. We're looking at the 30-year Fannie Mae bond. That one, it looks like all the markets about 11 o'clock our time is when the news is coming out, and that's when we'll really see what's going to happen. Federal Reserve minutes are coming out then, and everybody sits on their hands until they see what happens on Fed Minutes Day. That's usually not a good day for the mortgage market, but we'll be watching that. We did see the National Association of Home Builders did come up with their numbers yesterday. I was shocked when I heard the number. Brent, I don't know if you might even seen this one, because I'm sure you're not following the Home Builders Index like I would. No, most people have more of a life than that, but 40% of the cost of building a new home goes to regulation.
Did not know that.
40%. I mean, I was just fascinated by that amount of a number. 40%.
It's a huge number.
Could you imagine if we had even half of that, what that would do with home building and affordability?
Yeah.
Just amazing numbers. We told you this, to be careful when you look at some weekly numbers. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported mortgage application was up 3.6% last week. Remember, it was down 5% the week before. Sometimes we see things like this happening in a blip time where people are off for holidays and things like that. So just remember, you don't want to go with too short a time period there. So we're not going to get too excited about an up 3%, no more than we were too excited about a down 5%. We look at year-over-year numbers. We look at longer-term numbers. I did share with you again that the Fannie Mae 30 or the Freddie Mac Mortgage Market Index, we're basically one tick below interest rates from last year. One tick below. So last year, this week 4.38. This week we're at this year 4.37. So those are just some of the numbers that are going in there. Big time right now for those people who have an interest in refinancing, right? The reason that there's a big interest in that right now, very, very simple. It's because interest rates are back down. People have got some more equity in their homes. You got more equity, you're able to do more things. That is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. They are the only ones I know of with the Fast Pass loan approval. So let's chat, even though our headline might be a little off, I have corrected it. So if you correct your screen or refresh your screen. I'm not going to do it on ours here. But you might see that our actual topic today is helpful tips, TIPS, for preparing to sell your home in the spring. Brent Humpherys is our expert in the house. Before I get to Brent, throw out some hellos. Dr. Bill, glad to see you here. Lisa, good to see you. Zeb, nice to see you as well. Jerry, Janine, Regina, Matt, glad to see all of you with us. Got a good audience here watching us this morning on RonSiegelRadio.tv. So Brent, you're going to help us prepare to sell in the spring.
I am indeed.
Okay, I am ready for it. You know, it's fascinating because we do a lot of work with predictive analytics. And there's about 15 or 18 things that we can watch from a predictive analytics setting that gives us an idea that somebody's thinking about selling down the road. I think it's 151 days in advance. The analytics give us that answer. But your first item on the list doesn't show up there. Meeting with an agent.
Sure. It's a good idea.
You think, and to me it makes total sense, but I want to throw it to you. Why?
Well, there are a lot of homeowners that think that they know what they're doing, and many do. But when you're preparing your home for market, there are ways to do it where surprise. That was a surprise too. There are ways to do it, excuse me, where you spend money, and there are other ways to do it where you're not spending any money. You're just rearranging things and doing things differently in your home, where you're converting your home from the domain or the dwelling into a business asset, where you're now looking at it as the place, to make you money.
But wait a second, you said something there that I love. You're changing it from your home to an asset.
Yep, and it's an asset all along, but you need to change your mindset.
I call it getting divorced from your house.
That works too.
Right, because what you're really saying there, that's exactly what you're saying, is change that mindset from, hey, this is my home, this is my castle, this is where I'm raising my family, this is all these different things, to, hey, you know something? This is an asset. I need to get the most for it, my highest rate of return.
That's right. I mean, think about accent walls, right? I love accent walls.
What is an accent wall? I'm a simple guy.
An accent wall is, you go to Frizzy or Dunn Edwards or wherever, and you get maybe an exotic color, maybe a dark maroon or a chocolatey brown or something, and you paint one wall that color to just kind of, basically, it's an artsy thing.
Okay.
But your paint taste may not be mainstream.
That makes sense.
And you'll find in model homes, there are some home builders that are doing accent walls, but what you want to do
So when my son did his room in Green Bay Packer colors, green and yellow, that's not mainstay?
It's not, unfortunately, no.
Unless you live in Wisconsin.
Sure, it may be there, yeah, and I'm not licensed in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Although I know some great agents out there.
Yeah. So if I'm going to paint, what color should I paint?
Neutral.
Okay, so I go to Dunn Edwards and ask them for neutral.
Sure, and that's not a paid ad, by the way. But
okay. Well, whoever, right?
A realtor can come into your property and look at things like furniture placement, color of walls, lighting, window treatments, basically the way the home is set up. I mean, we've all had a home where a dining room is used as a home office, right?
Right.
Or, the kids have a tech center or whatever that's on the other wall in the living room. The way you're using your home today is not necessarily the way the typical buyer would use it. And there's nothing wrong with rearranging your home and converting bedrooms to offices and things. But a realtor can come in as an expert and say, here are the things I would change around before you go on the market.
You're going to probably talk to more people about homes, people who want to buy homes than I am, is what you're saying, as a homeowner.
Sure.
Right? Because you're out there doing that all day, every day.
Right.
Right? So you're going to So I'm going to suggest that, can I save money that way?
Well, there are two ways to save money. You can save money, right? So netting more. You can save money by not spending money on things that are unnecessary that won't help you.
Right.
And you can net more money in the end by achieving a higher sales price. So
I might
that's a double end right there.
Right. So I might be able to go out there and I might be thinking, okay, well, I've got a off-white wall and I should make it pure white. And I've got this carpeting, and you might say, hey, Ron, you don't need to do that.
Correct.
Or you might need to do this instead of that, and be able to put me on the track that's going to make the property more. And again, I like to use the term the property, not your home, because when you're selling it, it's just the property.
I like that.
Right, and you're going to make it more marketable. Right?
You sure are. You sure are. In the last month, it's rained a lot in Southern California.
I've noticed that.
And despite the song, "It Never Rains in California," it really.
I wasn't going to sing, believe me.
And I won't either. Listenership will, if that's even a word, will go way down. But
that usually happens when Dr. Bill, who's watching now, comes on the show. He only comes on when the ratings have been high, so that they would come down and we don't notice it as much.
Awesome. It rained for several days, and right after it finished raining, the sun came out, and I walked outside and I felt the sun on my back, and it just felt good. It looked good. And there's this longing for spring that happens, I believe, in all of us. At least that's what the experts say. And so the types of things that I came to share today are things that prepare your home and maximize or capitalize on the buyer's longing for spring. Things like bringing in colorful pillows to put on your patio furniture. I mean, you can walk in a backyard and it looks like a ghost town. There's furniture there, but instinctively, no one sat out here in 6-8 months. Bring in some bright colors, some teals, some white, some other types of pillows, and put them on the outdoor furniture.
I'm going to throw something at you when we come back, just because I saw this. I was looking at a property recently, and I think that somebody had to have been drinking when they listed this property or they put it up on the MLS. So I want to talk to you, Brent Humpherys, about this part of it as well. When we come back, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Brent Humpherys, talking about preparing to sell your home this spring, why a normal real estate market is just what we need, and understanding what to do if you do have unfiled tax returns. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. You know it, our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay will be available, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1, on YouTube. Stay tuned, we'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. They're the quickest one I have found to date at getting you a text message telling you when something new is on the market. We actually tested it, and that other Z group that I don't even want to mention, right, they come out and it took them 72 hours longer to get the information to us on a property when it was listed than under Nest. So if you want the fastest information, Nest is the way. Why a normal market is just what we need. We're talking real estate here. The housing market has been hot for a while now. Homes have been flying off the shelves as fast as they've been listed. Buyers have been competing in bidding wars just to find a home to buy, let alone find their dream home. This seller's market has driven home prices to new highs. Home price appreciation averaged 6% across the country. However, home price growth has recently started to cool. The latest report from CoreLogic shows that home prices have risen only 4.7% over the last 12 months. That's where one of the crazy business stations came out and said home prices are down 20%. Well, think about it. If you go from 6% to 4.7%, that's about a 20% drop, right? You're still up 4.7%.
That's right.
Many buyers and sellers planning. I told you this yesterday, right? Orange County, California, 59-year average, 6.12%. I can give you that same number or the correct number for any place you are in the sound of my voice. Many buyers and sellers planning to enter the housing market this year have started to wonder if we're headed towards another housing crash. Ralph McLaughlin, Deputy Chief Economist at CoreLogic, recently stated in an interview, quote, "There's no reason to panic right now, even if we may be headed for a recession. We're seeing a cooling of the housing market, but nothing," and I will say that again, nothing indicates a crash, unquote. The real elephant in the room here is housing supply. Simple answer is we are returning to a normal market. If you're dealing with a real estate professional, again, I'm a honk on this because I only think you should deal with real estate professionals, right? If they haven't been in the industry for more than 10 years, they really have not seen a normal market. They've seen a horrible market in 2008, 9, 10. They saw a market that was recovering in 11, 12, maybe all the way through maybe last year even, right? So a normal market, a lot of them haven't seen it before.
It's a really good point.
McLaughlin went on to explain, quote, "If there are a lot of homes on the market and suddenly no one wants to buy them, you'll get into a downward spiral of price competition. Right now, however, we're in the opposite situation. There is not an overabundance of homes in the market," unquote. As more renters looking for their piece of the American dream enter the housing market, demand for housing will continue to grow. The Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University estimates over 30 million new households will enter the market from now through 2040. Hopefully I'll be retired by then. I might even be on the wrong side of the sidewalk. There's the natural life cycle of young people getting older and starting to do adult life things, which include buying a house, and that's a lot of potential inertia that could last indefinitely. Bottom line, home prices will start to appreciate by historic norms as we continue to head towards a more normal market rather than the over 6% seen over the course of the last couple of years. This is great news. Homeowners looking to sell their home will have buyers as more buyers will be able to afford them. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. One of them is here. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Speaking of great real estate professionals who has seen a normal market, Brent Humpherys is in the house. How many years now, Brent?
18.
Okay, but you kind of, I would say, have an unfair advantage.
Because of my family?
Because your family's you've grown up in it, right? I mean,
if you have a heartbeat in my family, you have a real estate license. It's great.
Yeah, right. So and your mom, real estate.
Yep, 1976, Dad in 78, and Grandpa in 67. So
wow.
We've celebrated. We're coming up on 52 years in real estate in our family.
Wonderful. So you've seen the ups, the downs, the sideways, and everything in between.
Yep. Just not the wrong side of the sidewalk. What did that mean?
I'll explain that to you in a little bit.
Commercial break.
Yeah, wrong side of the sidewalk. It's not fun. Okay, so we were talking before the break about helpful tips for preparing to sell in the spring. And the first tip was to meet with a real estate professional. And, I am not a fan of ever sending somebody to Zillow to see a review. Go to their websites, go to whatever. I just don't like Zillow. But that's my own personal
I don't
thing.
like them either.
Right, so here's the issue. I saw a listing the other day, and I was telling Brent during the break about this listing. And one of the key things is making sure you've got a real estate professional who knows what they're doing and knows how to apply the crafts of the trade. So even though we're not fans of Zillow and Redfin and all these others that are out there, right, they're there and people are going there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I saw a listing the other day, Brent, and it was like a $1.4 million property, and it showed the front of the house, which is really nice, and it showed the entry, nice, then it showed the swimming pool, and then it showed the kitchen, and then it showed the gazebo.
I'm getting dizzy.
Right? So was I. And I'm going, how could they possibly put pictures up like this?
You've got to try to be that bad.
Exactly. So when you were talking earlier, meet with a real estate agent first, well, you might even want to talk to us at 800-306-1990 so we can put you in touch with a great real estate agent who knows what the heck they're talking about.
Did you just say us? Boy, that was nice.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, you got to do that. I mean, it's not all real estate agents are created equal.
They're not. They're absolutely not. You got to make it easy for the buyer. You got to make it convenient. Have some continuity in the marketing.
Yeah, and when I was looking at some of our notes for the broadcast today, I'm saying, okay, stand at the entry of each room and consider how a buyer might view it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not
room by room.
I mean, that means if you're looking at a picture, you're standing in the door and showing us the corners.
No,
that's not the idea.
Stand in the doorway and look in and ask yourself, what would the ideal mainstream use of this room be? And if it's currently used as an office, but it's downstairs and maybe there's it's a downstairs bedroom with maybe an interior bath. Goodness gracious, we've got multi-generation families now. Mom and dad, their knees are rough. They can't go up and down the stairs. They're going to probably be living with us. Let's convert it to a guest room. Let's bring some nice pillows. I don't know what my deal is with pillows this morning, but...
Are you tired, Brent, or what?
I don't know. I got a really good night's sleep last night. I don't know what it is.
But something, that seems to me like a easy and relatively inexpensive solution to bring those spring colors that you were talking about.
It is easy, but sometimes we just don't think about it. It's like, growing up before we had the stainless steel refrigerators, right? You had magnets that would actually stick on a refrigerator.
Right, exactly.
With a note, and if you left it there more than a day or two, you pretty much no longer saw the note, right? At least that was my experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
The home is the same way. You're seeing it every day, and you're just walking past things that weren't wrong, but they're not helpful when you're going to go on the market.
And that's a big issue right there, because you want them to be set up in such a way that it's most appealing. And you have to hope that whoever you select as your real estate professional might be there to help sell your house.
Well, yeah, you would hope so.
That's kind of the idea, or at least take the pictures or make sure things are... So you want it to be what they feel the most marketable is.
Right.
Because I know that you list a lot of properties, but I don't think you like listing houses. I think you like getting them sold.
Very, very true.
Because that's what the family you're helping, that's what they're really engaging your services for, is to get the house sold, not to list it.
Right. We want to make the commodity marketable.
Right. There you go. Cleanliness.
Yeah, I mean, spring cleaning, the phrase is there for a reason, right?
Sure.
Clean the home. Declutter particularly the kitchen And some of the bedrooms, I mean, I'm preparing a home in Rancho Santa Fe next week. I brought in an expert. I've home stagers and interior designers who will walk a home and comment on things that I haven't even thought of, and this is what I do. Really, really helpful things. And, what to do with that Nintendo Wii or the Switch or the Xbox or what have you. And do you leave it out? Do you put it away? Things like cleaning windows. This time of year, the sun isn't as bright. And people like to buy when the home has a lot of light. So things like replacing light bulbs, making sure that every light bulb in the house is working.
Probably because as a real estate professional, you're going to turn every one of them on.
You want to. You
Right?
absolutely do. And you want to professionally clean the windows, and you particularly want to make sure that the bathroom, the vanity, the mirrors are all sparkly. Why? You're competing in many areas of the country with new construction. And when people walk into areas that have hygiene related to them, you want to make sure that those bathrooms are like a surgical room. They're completely clean.
Should I buy extra lamps?
Sure.
So that would make sense to make sure the house is extra bright?
I would. And if you've got some of the old bulbs, maybe some of them that are, no longer the types of bulbs that you can buy at the hardware store, put them in. Make sure that property is as bright as possible. If you've got shrubs that have, overgrown from the rains and they're blocking, some of the light into key traffic areas, trim them back, let in more light. It's amazing what happens if you just move things away from a window, whether it be inside or outside. You get more light.
Open the blinds?
Open the blinds.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned something on one of the teases, and I got to find out about this one when we come back. Mowing the lawn in a specific direction.
Yeah.
I want to hear about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. More with Brent Humpherys. Helpful tips for preparing to sell your home in the spring. That is our topic today. We will also chat about what you should do if you have unfiled tax returns. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. All you need to do is go to Credit Sanitizer and get that problem solved. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. We will help you with that as well. What are you going to do if you have unfiled tax returns? File them. What do you think? You probably want to make sure you get a good tax professional to help you and make sure that what you're doing is appropriate. There are some things you can do, some things you can't do, but you got to file your tax returns. Just ask maybe Al Capone. Maybe you want to talk to Al Capone. I think I heard something about him recently. Yeah, not a good idea. Wesley Snipes, Martha Stewart, other big names in the past for tax fraud. Federal government takes taxes seriously. Not filing your taxes is a serious offense. Although there won't be a nationwide manhunt for late returns, you may still see some hefty fines. And not a good idea. So make sure you get in touch. If you've got tax returns that you have not filed, you may be susceptible to late fees, penalties. You might forfeit your current tax refund if you're getting one. Refunds can be delayed. All of that can happen. So the bottom line, get a hold of a tax preparer, tax professional. Solve the problem. Get it taken care of so you don't have to look over your shoulder. That is the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by our friends over at CreditSanitizer.com. We are continuing our conversation. Brent Humpherys is in the house today, and we're chatting about, it was easy for me to say this, Brent, because it's a tongue twister for me, helpful tips for preparing to sell your home in the spring.
Yeah, that is a mouthful.
Yeah, holy cow. I can almost remember all of that.
Hire somebody and let them say it.
Yeah, how do you do that on radio, though? You know, I like to outsource a lot of what we do, but I haven't been able to throw my voice yet. I'm not sure anybody wants to hear me, but that's a different song. So, curb appeal, Brent.
Curb appeal.
So, let's start off with the lawn. Anything special there?
Well, yeah, I mean, mow the lawn. That's a good idea.
Yeah, especially in this weather. I mean, because I know my grass is, the gardeners miss every other week the way the rains have been.
Yeah. Ron, have you ever walked into a home? This relates to the lawn.
Okay.
It's got beautiful hardwood floors, just the nice planks, just everything. You just say, oh, I want these floors. I've got floor envy, right?
Yep.
And you got a big, long hallway. Have you seen how different the hallway looks if the slats go the direction of the hallway or the planks versus perpendicular?
Yeah. In fact, I'm not really the fashionista.
Oh, come on! Look at the shirt you're wearing, Ron.
My wife picks my clothes out for me.
Go, Mindy.
But here's the. But I did go into an open house recently, and Mindy made that exact comment. Is that look at how much bigger it looks when on a diagonal.
Yeah. Well, the long ways is one way, but a diagonal is also. I mean, it's really beautiful because when the hall stops, it jetties off a different direction. I'm trying to come up with the right word for it. Homes look bigger, and the same is true of your yard. If you mow the lawn at a diagonal, the yard will simply look larger.
Fascinating.
It's not deceptive. It's helpful, right?
Right. I mean, well, there's nothing wrong with how you mow your lawn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not deceptive to clean the house either, but you should do it.
You absolutely should. And imagine you're walking through. I mean, I'm sure that everybody listening has been a buyer at some point, and hopefully they've had a real estate
Or they're a
professional.
millennial that's getting ready to.
Correct. Right. And they're walking around the home, right? They're with the realtor the entire time. But where is the buyer separated from the realtor in a home showing? It almost always happens. It's when they're at the front door waiting while he or she runs around the side of the house, typically on the gas meter, scrounging around for the lockbox. And the buyers are sitting there and they're looking up, they're looking down, they're looking left, they're looking right, they're seeing the cobwebs under the eaves. Maybe they're seeing a bee's nest or some wasp or something that you haven't gotten rid of. They're looking down where the water had come down, particularly if they weren't rain gutters, and it's in the planters or whatever. That maybe there aren't some nice flowers. They're stuck and they're getting first impressions. Often the front door, just spending $100, $150, and getting a nice fresh coat of paint on the front door can make a major difference, because that's where the first impressions are formed.
Wow. And what about, should we get flowers at this time of year, or are they just going to die?
Flowers are a great idea. So here we're talking about gardening on air. I mean, who would have thought, right? I'm going to call my mom and let her know. Daffodils and tulips. Yellow flowers create a buyer urgency. They do.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The experts have said that yellow flowers can create the urge to buy. Same as baked bread in an open house. If you've got, bread in an oven and it's cooking, unbelievable. It's like when the stores in the mall and they play the music.
I can think of a million things that could get me in serious trouble here, Brent. All these different urges you're talking about.
Plant yellow flowers in the yard. Absolutely. Bring in the colors, the bright pillows.
So I hate to segue like this, but odors.
Yeah. Let's face it. Some home sales stink, and sometimes homes themselves stink. We all need to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Your home is either on septic or sewer. If it's on sewer, you're probably okay. Although once in a while, there will be some gases. But if you're on a septic tank that hasn't been serviced recently, right, you haven't had it pumped, the buyer may not be very pumped up, because you may have some exhaust where it smells like somebody went to the bathroom and there hasn't been anybody home in hours. There are these gases that come up through the pipes. In many areas, you're going to be asked to have the septic tank pumped and certified. Why not do it now, enjoy some fresh air, and avoid the buyer objection?
That's always a funny part that I chuckle at when we're talking about some of the different issues that come up, because I think about, if you have your home, and I'm a big proponent of a certified pre-owned home, right? So you call our friend John Hammond and get a home inspection done before you even list, right? And even if you change your mind and don't list, these are the things that are going to be called out in that inspection report anyway, and you're going to fix them for the benefit of somebody else.
Well said.
But you don't fix them for the benefit of yourself.
That's right. Spend the money early, avoid the buyer objections, and get a return personally and financially.
Exactly.
It's a double dip.
Another double dip. I like that. Okay, so, that's just a more fun there. What else do we got? I think we painting.
Well, we
talked a little bit about painting.
I have seen homes where the baseboards are nasty, and my recommendation, and I hope that client's not listening, because they know if they're listening, they will know. And I said, we have got to paint these baseboards before we put this home on the market for sale. They painted the baseboards a crisp white, right? It was like white picket fence. It was just this really great name.
Right.
High-end paint. Wasn't expensive, right? I mean, how much... Baseboards aren't, massive, right?
Right.
They're, usually
little tiny
4 inches or so. Yeah. They painted those baseboards, and when you walked into the room, Ron, your eyes went to the corners, and the rooms looked larger.
Really?
We did very well on that sale. Paint the baseboards, make them crisp and white. They're typically where, you're scrounging around at night for a snack, or, I'm food reference, right? The dog has been up against it, and maybe they've gotten dirty, right? Don't have soiled baseboards. Have crisp, white, perfectly painted baseboards. You'd be amazed how much better your home will look.
Well, if it's going to make the house look bigger, that's the important part of the whole process, isn't it?
It is.
Right? I mean, right there, that's a biggie.
It is. So paint, bring in light, curb appeal.
So the bottom line with all of these things is doing a little bit of prep work, and it's kind of interesting that you bring all these things up, Brent, because it goes back to kind of where we started earlier, and I was saying some of the predictive analytic tools that we have, they're really giving us an idea of what people have in mind, and part of it are people that might be listening to us right now and think they can do this stuff on their own, and they come and hit these tools, right? So the bottom line here is you're going to do it anyway. So what, as a real estate professional, if I'm contemplating hiring you to help me list my house and sell my house in the spring, if we have that conversation today, what's it going to cost me?
There is no cost.
No cost.
A realtor comes at no charge and gives you expert advice.
Right? Where else can you go? I mean, try going to an attorney and telling them that they're going to give you advice to solve a problem down the road, and they're not going to charge you.
Right. And so, some attorneys will have that initial 30-minute consult,
right,
and then it's going to cost you.
Right.
But what happens when you call a realtor, the following Tuesday after you met for 2 or 3 hours in the evening? They're going to take your call.
Exactly.
That's what we're there for.
And like, I understand your business process a bit. A lot of realtors really want to be there for the rest of your life for everything you need.
Amen.
Right?
You bet.
This is the quarterback. You need a painter, call Brent. You need an accountant, call Brent. You need a lender, call me. You need to, right? But that's the great real estate professionals. That's kind of the way they work. And it's just something for you to be aware of, and also be aware of setting that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, if you want to reach Brent Humpherys, just give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. Girl Scout cookies. Let us know how many you want to buy so we can get them to the nonprofit organization. Talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.